Hey guys, Jay-Sensei here again. This is going to be what if Naruto was born as Link and inherited his powers. A lengthy title, I know, but I like it. So, now, the story begins with Link dying after he finally saves Hyrule and eliminated every possible threat to that realm. Link's spirit still lingered though and would travel to the realm of Shinobi, where a hero is greatly needed in this era. Now, Link would inhabit the body of a newborn baby. The baby was so strong that Link could no longer, act as him, but he could influence him through his actions and personality. Now, Willy Baby's arm came out gray with hints of a golden pattern on it. And, Byoko, Hirusen's wife and Kushina's doctor, talked it up to, he has a new Genkai. Maybe combined with Namikaze and Uzumaki DNA made this. Now, after the events of Naruto's birth, they kind of went the same as Kanon. It's not really much. But when Naruto's around 2 to 4, Hiruzen experiments with Naruto's arm as a new Genkai. And Naruto dubbed it the Ultra Hand, the arm that you see right here. Just that all this is mainly a mainly flat design that of kind of protruding as if it's jewelry. So yeah. Using this ability, he control, or actually no, phrase that wrong. He has natural abilities to control every element. He can control elements, energy, including light energy. He can also do a lot more than that. But using a lot of this power, he created something that he called the Sheikah Slate, and he got a few more abilities. Now, some of the abilities, all the abilities that Naruto would have. Well, first we go on to his personality. He's very courageous, heroic. If you want to count this as the same thing, you may. He's very kind. He's genuine. But he's very weak to women is something, but he also does not make it up. If he wants to date someone, he'll make it obvious. But he's also very very weak with, confronting them about wanting to date. Like, oh yeah, I like you. But then if it comes to, he won't go on a date, he'll be, very, shocked. Because he knows what may happen after a date. So yeah. But he's also very humble. Now, for his abilities. He's a master swordsman, he's a master archer, he's a really good musician, and he's a master of stealth. And he has pinpoint accuracy, which can also tie into his master archer. Yeah. Now he can also merge into walls as a painting, and that's, or street art. That comes from the ability A Link Between Worlds. Then he has Urbosa's Fury, Dodaruk's Protection, Mipha's Grace, and Rivali's Gale, all abilities from Breath of the Wild. Another ability is just a Dome of Flames. I forgot what game that's from. He can create mini earthquakes, which is also a link to the past ability. No, also it's the first A Link to the Past ability. But Naruto kind of counts as basically just by vibration that can create an earthquake if he needs to. Then he has Stasis. He has Stasis, Bombs, Magnesis, and Cryokinesis. He can only freeze water into blocks. Those abilities are also from Breath of the Wild. Then he has Recall, Ultra Hand, and Ascend. Recall, Ultra Hand, Ascend, and Fuse. Yeah. And Recall basically rewinds something back in time by about 15 seconds. But Stasis would freeze things in place for 10 seconds. So, yeah. What else? Magnesis is you control things that have a magnetic pull. What else? Magnesis. Ascend allows you to travel through surfaces upwards. Bombs are kind of explainable since you can create them out of thin air. So, yeah. Ultra Hand allows them to move and attach two objects together. And Fuse allows him to basically fuse two objects. One that he's holding and one that he is not. He can also control his height, which I forgot what game that's from. But he can shrink down to the minimum of about, 2 feet. And at maximum 8 feet. So, yeah, it's about the same height as Ganon. He can turn into a wolf, which that ability is from Twilight Princess, I believe. And then energy emission, I went over that. He can control minds and emotion, and read minds and emotion. So yeah. Now he can also talk to animals. And he can control basically every element / weather plus light. And he is a master at adapting to basic combat. So yeah. Now back to the story. Using the Sheikah Slate, Naruto was able to make a map of Land of Fire in general, and Naruto would also use it to create better powers. So yeah. Now as Naruto got accustomed to his powers, he uses chakra with a chakra saber that he had found. Not that he found, but he kind of made it. And it has a unique hilt resembling the Master Sword. And Naruto even has a shield that he calls the Hylian Shield. Now, Naruto would wear Link's attire from Hyrule Warriors, which I can pull up for you right now. This is what Naruto looks like. Just take away the weird elf hat thing. Or, yep, elf hat. That's usually what Naruto looks like, though. So, yeah. Now, that's Naruto's attire when he's about 13, so yeah. But when Naruto is 7, he has a job at a ninja item shop, where he basically just sells and creates stuff. And by the time he's 10 to 13, or ages 10 to 13, he had basically had his own business. The owner of the old shop had passed away and gave it to Naruto. Naruto was pretty reliable, so he had no problem giving it to him. And Naruto kind of ended up having 5 employees that aren't counting himself. Shikamaru, Choji, Tenten, Shino, and Hinata. Shikamaru is just a good businessman, and he's just smart. That's about it. Choji is just there because he gets money to buy his own food, and his parents don't know how to tell him no because they have to spend the money. It's his money. Tenten is just there because she likes weapons. Shino is there the fact that his bugs kind of like the environment. They even have a few nests underground, as long as not even let them have a nest underground, as long as they don't burrow up and ruin the shop. Hinata just works there to get closer to Naruto. But yeah, and Naruto and Teichi happen to be business rivals and friends. Also, only 2 people there can make weapons aside from Naruto, being Tenten and Shikamaru. So, yeah. Now, when Naruto 13 graduates from Academy as Rookie of the Year, he is basically S- in every category. Not quite S rank, but he's nearly there. And only thing he has no S in is Genjutsu, where he has an A in it. But he's still pretty good. Team 7 still consists of Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, because, well, they don't get along. Only reason is that, Sasuke just doesn't like Naruto and his ability to talent. Sakura is kind of indifferent. Oh, wait, how to phrase this? Right, so Sasuke just doesn't like Naruto's talent. He's jealous of him. Sakura is indifferent. And Naruto kind of likes everyone, so he has no problem. So, yeah. Now, when the team was announced, Sasuke had a snarky remark immediately as he said, Don't hold me back, you idiot," as he stares at Naruto. Naruto being Naruto, or actually a more respectful version, would just bow his head and say, "I would never wish to hold you back. It'd be disrespectful to such a strong ally." Sasuke got annoyed and sighed as they wait for Kakashi. Now, when Kakashi did arrive, Naruto was just sharpening a sword, Sakura was eyeing Sasuke, and Sasuke was just being emo. Now, he told him to get to the roof, but Naruto quickly vanished from sight. Onto the roof. Sakura and Sasuke were shocked because they got left on the staircase, but they were halfway there regardless. So with this, as Naruto was there, Kakashi would question question Naruto, saying, "Why don't you bring them to the top with you?" Naruto holding up his very destroyed shoes and says, "I haven't really gotten used to traveling at light speed with people around me. I can do it so well that I can have a barrier around me. A barrier of sound, so to say." Kakashi just nodded and said, "So, long story short, they would have been shredded to nothing." And Naruto just nods. But Sasuke was shocked because he heard the tail end of that conversation. He's actually admiring Naruto's skill now. Or not admiring, but he acknowledged it. Now, Naruto likes and dislikes. Naruto virtually likes everything and only dislikes those who put down other people who work hard. It's like Sasuke, but Sasuke hasn't proved to do that yet, so Naruto teach him with indifference. His goal is to become the greatest blacksmith. That's kind of a short-term thing. His dream is to become a hero and savior that everyone can rely on. And Sakura and Sasuke say the same usual thing. Sakura and Sasuke say their usual things, but she says, I don't have any dislikes. I guess Kiba counts as that. I don't really like Naruto, but I don't like him either, I guess. And Naruto just shrugged it off. Eventually, Naruto headed towards the shop where they were packing up. And he ended up closing the shop temporarily because, well, they're all going to get ready for, well, sparring and all that, plus they're going to get used to their teams. Now, Naruto would walk towards Sasuke's house when he's done packing up, and he knocked on the door. Sasuke would open it as he took a bite from some dango. He said, "What do you want, Naruto?" Naruto pointed to the training ground and just nodded. Sasuke understood that immediately, and says, "Should we get Sakura too? I guess she's on our team, and she seems pretty useless. We should teach her a few things." Naruto shrugged and went to Sakura's house with Sasuke. Naruto wrote a note in a small book he had that he used to keep track of orders. He took the note off the book, and then walked around Sakura's house. Sasuke would knock on the door to talk to her parents. They didn't know what he looked like, so they were able to talk long enough for Naruto to knock on the window, and Sakura would see the note that Naruto had against the window. And Naruto does talk a little bit, but not too much. So, yeah. But as soon as Sakura, when they see the note, she grabbed her shoes, and ran out the window. Ran into the door, saying, "Hey, Sasuke," and they ran. But the note had basically said, Sasuke and I are going down to training ground Alpha. So, yeah. Now, as soon as Sakura was at the door, she looks at Naruto, who's at a nearby like concession stand, and bought some dango. He hands Sakura a plate and has Sasuke a plate, and he gave his plate to Sakura, saying, "If you want, you can have it. I already ate some." Naruto eats his, and Sakura eats hers and Sasuke's. Well, the training started at about 4 p.m. and stopped at 1 a.m. So, about a good 9 hours of training. They eventually do come home and sleep in, and they sleep in until 10 a.m. They eat and realize that they're late as they were at the training ground, but Kakashi is late. But after an hour and 30 minutes, Kakashi would arrive at 11:30. So they had just finished warming up, and it's obviously at 8 because they look rejuvenated. Kakashi basically just said start once he saw they were ready, and Naruto immediately activated Ultra Hand and activated Recall on the bell so that they go back in the air where Kakashi was originally holding them. At the same time, Fireball is used at Kakashi from Sasuke. But Kakashi would immediately dodge and duck under the fireballs and went for the bells. But from below, Sakura had grabbed his leg that she had used the jutsu that Naruto taught her. And it's called Earth-style Headhunter, or Headhunter Jutsu. With that, she's able to pull down one of Kakashi's legs, but not both of them, making him actually trip, almost breaking his leg with the way he fell. Now, Naruto had grabbed the slate and pulled the bell towards him using magnesis. The bells and Kakashi turned out to be substitutions, which was a very big shock. Wait, hold up. These paragraphs are coming together when they shouldn't be. Bells and Kakashi turned out to be substitutions, which was a very big shock until the real Kakashi came out. And he was clapping, saying, "Good job. The objective was teamwork, and since we have a few more minutes left, let's spar." And the thing is, they had more than a minute left. They had more than a few minutes left. It took them about 3 minutes. So, they're pretty good. They nod at the ask to spar, and they all spar for a long time. Naruto's the only one who seems to relax while sparring. Kakashi even used his Sharingan, which warranted a bit of explanation from Kakashi to Sasuke, but it was quickly cleared up when Kakashi said, "I don't know, she had Sharingan is not mine. My friend had died, and it was in the middle of the Third Year Ninja War, and I'd become a Jonin. This was his gift to me, but also told me to take it so the enemies don't get their hand on it, since nations like Land of Lightning would want the Sharingan or Byakugan to use against us." And Sasuke kind of understood that, since it was rumored that a few years ago the Hidden Cloud tried to take a member of the Hyuga for their eyes. So, yeah. They eventually had 2 months of training, but they also did a few secret missions, and since Kakashi claimed that Naruto was able to be on his level, using even when Kakashi used a Sharingan, and Sakura seemed to be a pretty decent user of taijutsu, or nin taijutsu, and even genjutsu. And Sasuke finally awakened to Sharingan, honestly just through Naruto pushing him so hard, so, yeah. But I'm probably getting this part here, because this is beginning of the Land of Waves mission. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more. Adios.